Hey there, all you fantastic people. I hope your day has been absolutely wonderful. We're back with another thrilling episode of What If Naruto Was the Reborn Ancients. Make sure to show some appreciation to the talented author behind this fanfiction. You'll find the link waiting for you down in the description. Kushina hides a secret from everyone, and then makes sure her son will not face the burden he is about to carry alone. When she's done, the world shall fear her son. If you're loving this mind-bending what if, don't hold back. Drop a comment and share your thoughts. And while you're at it, don't miss out on exploring the other captivating what ifs available on this channel. Alright, without further ado, let's kick off this video and dive into this exciting journey. Hinata said, "I wish to kill the Hyuga Council and my father." Naruto blinked and asked, "Why?" Note: sexual content and graphic violence in Hinata next speak. If you don't want to read it, skip to the end next note. Hinata looked down and said, "A year before my mother passed away, I was put in a room with all the other children under the age of 13 in the Hyuga compound. I did not know why we were taken there. My cousin Neji, whose father had died a year earlier, was there, and he attacked me, blaming me for his father's death. I started to cry and I ran out of the room while the guard who was watching us forced Neji away. I heard a few female voices and I followed the voices trying to find my mother. The voices were coming down a tunnel that leads under the Hyuga compound. I went down the tunnel and I walked out onto a balcony that had a set of stairs walking down to a chamber below. I could see as each of the women of the clan were all down there, and I looked for my mother in the group of women. I finally saw my mother as she was led up onto a central table, and two male branch members walked up and ripped my mother's cloths off her. They then gagged her and tied her over a table that was pointing toward the balcony. As she was tied down, her eyes locked onto mine and she was wide-eyed and she tried to get free, but she couldn't speak or get free, and I watched as my father and each of the council member all took turns with her. I didn't understand what was going on, and my mother, by the time it was over, could not walk, and then the two guards took her to a room to the side, and they brought another woman, and another council member, and my father, each taking a turn at them. After each time, my father and the council members would take some kind of pill until they did every woman in the clan. I watched each and every woman being taken and I was scared. The look in my mother's eyes when she saw me froze me to the core. I don't know how long I was there, but my mother finally came and took me to my room. I was confused by what had happened and I asked her what that was. She told me it's a Hyuga family secret tradition. She explained to me how they do it to show the females in the Hyuga clan they are nothing but breeding stock. I told her I didn't understand, and she looked at me with such sadness in her eyes. She then put that seal on my back and told me I should have to watch as that happened to her. 9 months later, my mother gave birth to my sister Hanabi. As my mother was recovering in her room, I snuck into her room to see her, and she was asleep, and I heard someone coming and I hid under her bed. A council member woke her and told her that day that she would have to continue having another child until she had a male. My mother told him no, she wasn't going to force more daughter to undergo that tradition for a bastard clan like the Hyuga. The council member killed my mother. I heard her scream and saw his hand fall to the side of the bed as blood slowly fell to the ground. After he left, I got out from under the bed and saw my mother's dead body. I ran and cried in my room, and my father came in a little later with a sad look on his face and told me my mother died from childbirth. I know when my sister is old enough they will do the same thing to her. I don't want that to happen. I want to kill those bastards before it happens. Note: okay, you can read. Naruto looked at her and said, "I'm sorry for your mother's death." Hinata looked at him and asked, "Will you help me save my sister?" Naruto said, "Yes." Hinata hugged him and said, "Thank you." Naruto sighed and said, "We need to talk about something." Hinata asked, "What?" As she let go and stepped back, Naruto said, "After what happened the other night, I don't care about saving the Republic anymore. They tried to take my mother from me and hurt you. I won't allow that. I am going to build my empire like I had planned and make it where not only the ancients can't come here but also the Republic. I want them to leave us alone. Anyone who tries to hurt those I care about will die. The Hyuga Council and your father will die. I am tired of people trying to hurt me. It stops now. I don't care who get hurt in the process, but I will protect those I care for. I don't care who I have to use to do it, but I will. I will teach you to use the Force to aid me so you can be by my side. I will build the empire of Darth Rasen. I will become the protector and ruler of this world. My empire shall never fall, and all who oppose it shall be destroyed. It will take time, but we will do it. Will you become my second in command and take your place as my right-hand lady Hinata?" Serve me and follow my orders. Hinata watched as Naruto's eyes turned yellow as he spoke, and she said, Yes, my master. I will follow your orders and I will destroy all who oppose you, my lord, Naruto said. Good Lady Hinata, from this day forward you are my sword. I will teach you all you need to know and you will become my one true love, my lover, my empress of power. The Jedi fear the dark side of the Force. I shall embrace the dark side and the light side of the Force. I will become the hero to those who can't protect themselves from the evil of this world, and I will become a demon to those who dare stand in my way. I will destroy the Jedi, the Sith, the ancients, and even death itself if they dare oppose me. Hinata was entranced by his words and convictions, and she said, Yours will be the greatest empire ever, my lord. I will do your bidding always, Lord Revan. Naruto looked right into her eyes and saw her unwavering devotion to him, and he let his anger slip away and he pulled her close and said, I will love you, my lady, forever. I will protect your sister and bring her into my empire. I will use everything my mother has taught me as well as what my father left me to make it happen. You will be my one true love. I will create an empire that shall last for all times that I shall rule, and you shall be by my side. As he kissed her passionately, she returned the kiss with love, compassion, lust and devotion, and when they broke apart she asked, Will you still take other women? Naruto said. Not as I will you. I will use anyone and everyone as a tool in my empire besides you. I don't know how long I will live, but I will make sure that the empire that I build does not go away after I have become one with the Force. I promised my mother I would give her lots of grandchildren. There are only 2 women I will not break a promise to. The only 2 who truly care for me. My mother, Darth Revan, and you, Lady Hinata. I promise you here and now, no matter who I take to bed or what I tell them, they will be nothing but tools in my empire. Only you will hold my heart and soul. Only you will know my secrets, and only you will rule by my side. The others will be nothing to me. I know that it might seem I am going to be just like the Hyuga clan, but I am only going to use them to fulfill my promise to my mother. I promised her grandchildren, and I know that you would be willing to risk your health to give me all of them, but I will not risk your life, my love, like that when I can just use other women who will serve in my empire. Only you will rule by my side. Will you accept that? Hinata thought. I knew I would have to share him before I learned the truth, and I accepted that. He will protect my sister, the only true family I have, and he will only love me and let me be by his side. Only I will know the real him. I am the one Revan asked to protect her son. He has done so much for me and cares for me, and he does not want to risk losing me. He's right. Why should he risk his true love over something like having multiple children to keep his promise to his mother? He has never broken a promise to me, and he says he never will. Why should I ever doubt him? And she said, I will be by your side, my lord. I will do thy bidding, and I don't care who you use as long as you promise I will be the only one to hold your heart, and you will protect my only true family, my sister Hanabi. I don't know any longer if we share the same father or not, and I don't care. Our mother cared for us, and they killed her. As long as the ones who took her from me pay, I don't care. I will serve you as your lover, your apprentice, your right hand. I will become your sword and strike at the hearts of your enemies and do thy bidding. I am yours, my heart, my mind, my body, and my soul belong to you, my master. I don't care if you are Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, or if you are Darth Rasen, son of Darth Revan. I will do as you ask, my love, Naruto said. Then it's settled. From this day forward you are Lady Hinata, the right hand of Darth Revan. May all who stand in your way fall to the ground dead, and all who oppose you feel your wrath. So says I, Darth Rasen, the true master of the Force. Hinata smiled and said, Thank you, my master. In a ship on its way through hyperspace, a man with one arm closed his eyes and thought, Darkness is growing stronger now and concealing everything. I fear that boy is the cause. I must convince the others to come with me to stop him, or I fear all will be lost. I only hope they will listen. The next day Naruto woke up with Hinata by his side, and after they got ready Naruto said, All right, Hinata. In order for you to become ready we will have to train harder than ever before, Hinata said. Yes, master, Naruto said. Good. I want to explain my plans to you. Since the attack the other day, a lot of people are going to be looking at us closely for a while, so we are going to have to use the most important thing a ninja must learn. Deception. The third is going to be paying close attention, and I believe others will as well, and we cannot let them know what is going on because they will stop us, and if my empire is to work before the ancients arrive, then we must not raise suspicion until it's too late. I learned while you were recovering from your memories that a group of S-rank criminal are going to try and come after me and the others who hold one of the bijou. I don't know what they want, but I had a suspicion because of a vision I had who they might be. I gave a little info to Jiraiya to draw his attention away from me and to check on those men. He wanted to take me as an apprentice, but that would draw too much attention right now. He can help track down the bijou for me so I can destroy them so the ancients can't use them against me later, Hinata said. That is wise, my master. If we must hide our skills, then we don't need a Sannin flashing it to everyone, and the bijou are indeed a threat if Kyuubi was any indication. Naruto nods and said, yes, now it's not just those two who will be keeping an eye on us. I am sure the Hyuga will as well, because they will want to try and get the secret of our power, and I figure the third and possible Danzo as well will. Hinata asked. Who is Danzo? Naruto said. He's a council member who got power by nearly causing a civil war here in the village. He has his own ANBU called Root that follow his orders. I have already started a plan to use him to aid me by using Sasuke. I have learned it was Sasuke who stole the chakra sabers I was going to give you. He followed me to the weapon shop that day, and after I became suspicious of him, I found him practicing with them. I could have killed him and recovered them, but I decided to use him instead. I appeared before him again as Darth Rasen and used Force Lightning to make him submit. I should have done that before when he was attacking you, but back then I did not want to hurt anyone if I could keep from it. Now he is a tool that I will use, and if he ever tries to stand in my way, I will destroy him. Now, as I was saying, I had him go to Danzo and make it seem like he would give Danzo power on the council when he got his clan seat by voting how Danzo wants. In exchange, he give him material to get stronger. I had him getting jutsu and weapon training so he can use those blades he stole. Hinata was shocked hearing this and asked, why don't you just kill him now and Danzo? Naruto said. Deception, my lady. Deception. If we start killing everyone now, they will unite against us, and though we will become powerful, we do not have the influence to take over yet. We will have to position ourselves and build an army, and then when the time is right, we strike quickly and take this planet by storm. Hinata looked down and said, forgive me, my lord, I guess I do not understand how we are to build your empire. Naruto saw her look down, and he walked over and raised her head and said, it's okay, my dear. If it was not for my mother's teaching, I would not either. You see, inside my mind when I would train with my mother, time goes by slower there. I trained what could be coincided hundreds of years under my mother in there. She explained how you have to use political and military power, and use enemies' agents to each other. Just trust me and follow my orders and all will be okay. Hinata nods and Naruto said, good, for now the main thing we need to focus on is training. Both of us were actually defeated by Ramsey the other night. If I had not used my ultimate attack, he would have killed me and then you. He's been wounded now, and if I were to guess, he has left to get help. He's seen what I can do and will be prepared next time, so I must get stronger as well. I don't know how soon he will return or when, but we have to get ready. The Republic, the Jedi, the Sith, and the Ancients are both our enemies now. We must prepare. I will be training with you because I see I am not strong enough yet either. When we are here alone, we will show who we really are, but when we are in the village, we will just appear as we were before. We will stay in the middle of the class and grades, hiding our true skills. We will watch those around us and see what we can use. If you see anything you think could be of use, inform me, and we will use it if it will aid us to get our goal quicker. You will continue your training under Anko and Kurinai if they continue, and sparring with Tenten. Do not inform anyone we know Sasuke has those chakra saber or about any of our plans and schemes. One slip up and we will both be destroyed, and you know what will happen then. Hinata saw a vision of her mother being used, and then her dead body, which in her mind flashed to that of her little sister, and she nodded and Naruto said, good, then let's begin. After that day, Naruto began training Hinata. To everyone else, nothing had changed since Naruto and Hinata did nothing to draw attention to themselves. They still had lunch with Kiba, Choji, and Shikamaru. Word had spread about Naruto's attack and his use of his father jutsu, and rumors spread far and wide about what he could do until they became stupid, like shooting fire out of his ass or killing an army of 1,000,000. He hid what he could do to make it harder for people to know what he could or could not do, and when asked if he could show it, he acted stupid and asked show what. Hinata on Saturdays still learned a little from Anko and Kurinai and sparred with Tenten. Naruto had began training with her as well to make himself stronger. Rasen kept appearing in front of Sasuke at least once a week, telling him new things to learn and to just ignore the other his age and not draw attention to himself. Sasuke had become pissed by the rumors of Naruto power and wanted to fight him, but after getting his ass handed to him by Rasen, he yielded. Danzo had gave Sasuke a few kenjutsu, taijutsu, and regular jutsu like he asked for, but kept trying to get him to join his route. Rasen would have Sasuke make a copy of everything that Danzo made as blackmail against Danzo, so Naruto jutsu vault was increasing as well. Naruto worried about his mother as Revan was in a coma. Every day a little more of her would return, but trying to fight Ramsay weakened her hold in the force, and even though she had not fully returned. The third Hokage had put Anbu watching Naruto home for a while, but after 3 months passed and nothing happened, he had to stop. Jiraiya took the information he received from Naruto and began tracking it down, but when he started investigating they went into hiding as far as he could tell, so he backed off and waited. Hinata became stronger in the force and could use some of the force powers like force pull and push and force sleep and lightning, but Naruto did not want to take the chance she would become too powerful, so he kept close watch on what she learned. Ramsay himself, after leaving the planet to inform the others, was ordered to not worry about it for now, since that world did not have space travel, and the Jedi Council sent him to worlds to deal with political troubles trying to restore order. They said after the immediate crises was taken care of they would look into what to do. Bastila and Jolie both heard what happened and did not know what to think about what they heard, but the Jedi Council had them working all the time trying to restore peace and order. Mandalore, after he heard Revan was basically dead and that Ramsay tried to kill her son, beat him to an inch of his life and would have ended it had Bastila and Jolie not stopped him, and he took his people and disappeared. Time went by quickly and Naruto was now 15 and Hinata was 14, and today they were starting their final year in the academy. Tenten had graduated a few months before and Naruto released her from her training with them since it had been over 2 years. Hinata had grown her hair out till it went to mid-back and still wore the armor Naruto had made her and wore her purple robe over the top of it, and Naruto had quit wearing white and now wore black everywhere. Black gloves, black sunglasses, because his eyes changed color so much except when it was just him and Hinata. He wore Ekani armor as well, but dyed it black and tied shuriken and kunia holsters on his legs, as well as he started wearing a vest like a jonin which housed storage scroll, but he switched from wearing white cloaks like he did when he was younger to wearing black ones, and he still kept his mask on him, but now it was sealed on his body. He quit relying so much on his lightsaber, and after Hinata got to where she could hold her own against him in a spar, he had her focus on kunai and shurikens as well. Hinata sighed as she sat down in her desk waiting for class to start, and she whispered to Naruto, who was sitting beside her. "Master, why do all these people seem so childish? I mean, they are the same age as me and they act like little children. Kiba, though he is as close as we let in as a friend, jokes around about how cool it's going to be when we get out of this year and start kicking ass. Shikamaru has become even more lazy in everything except when it's lunchtime, when he tries to defeat you in those games. And Choji uses food and Shikamaru as a crutch to help him get over his inferior complex." Naruto leaned forward and covered his mouth and whispered, "You see now why they are nothing but tools for us to use to build our empire, and why I chose you to be my right hand and why you will rule beside me. I may sacrifice true friends, but as long as I have you by my side and my empire is created and we save your sister, then all will be fine." Hinata nods barely and Naruto looked at the front of the class at Sasuke and he said, "It won't be long now until things begin, my lady. I have already discovered the council plans Kakashi to train Sasuke after he graduates. When that happens, my control over him will be put to a test, so I need to use him a little more before it's too late. His thirst for power will be his downfall." Just then a pair of voices screamed, drawing their attention, and Hinata cringed and said quietly, "I hate those two, master. They are so weak and useless," Naruto said. "True, for now they do, but they could have their uses." Hinata glanced at him and asked, "What do you mean?" Naruto said. "Like I can after we graduate, Ino can take over as clan head when her father steps down, and she can provide political power to me if I were to get her to join me." Hinata nods and said, "True, but to do so you would have to get rid of her fangirl persona towards Sasuke. What about Sakura? She's not from a clan, so she has no political power." Naruto nods and said, "True, but I think I could use her other ways." Hinata asked. "You mean as a mistress?" Naruto said. "I don't know about that yet. I told you I will take you first as mine. I was actually thinking that she could be trained to be a weapon for me," Hinata said. "You still would have to deal with her fangirl state." Naruto nods and said, "Perhaps it's time to start moving a few pieces on the board. I think it's time the brooding Avenger has had his first taste of blood." Hinata smiled and whispered, Just like those rude members who tried to attack you on your last visit to Sasuke, Naruto smirked and said. That was lovely, my lady, the way you slit his throat when I killed his teammate, and he tried to attack my blind side, Hinata said. I aim to please you, my lord, Naruto said. I have decided it time to take a more active role, Hinata. I will be late this evening, so you may do as you wish. I am going to have Sasuke give me my first tool, Hinata said. Yes, my lord. Anything I can help with, Naruto said. Now that I think about it, yes, shadow Sakura the next few days, but don't be discovered and learn as much as you can about her. Hinata nods as Iruka walked in with Mizuki, and she frowned and asked, When are you going to get rid of that man? I despise him as much as I do Sasuke, Naruto said. Soon, my lady, soon. And they began class as usual. That afternoon, Sasuke was at his home training when he sensed someone, and he turned and saw Rasen stepping out of his house, and he asked, Why are you here, master? As he bowed to one knee, Rasen said, Something has caught my attention that could hinder your growth of power, my apprentice, Sasuke asked. What is it, master? I will destroy it. Rasen rolled his eyes and thought, You fool, I should kill you, but I need you for now, and said, I have noticed your fangirls are getting bold again and might discover your connection to Danzo and me as well, and if that happens you will be stopped before you can gain more power. Do you deny that by following my commands you have gotten stronger? Sasuke said. No, master. I am stronger than anyone in my class, including the teachers. They are holding me back, Rasen said. True, my apprentice, but the spies your brother has watching you will discover if you become a threat to him and eliminate you before you are ready. Also, you are not strongest in your class. Namikaze is stronger, but do not worry about him. I have a plan to help get rid of your problem with your fangirls as well as weaken him so you can become stronger, Sasuke said. What is your plan, my master? Rasen smirked behind his mask and said, It's time to use some more deception, my apprentice. I want you to start dating Ino. Sasuke's eyes got wide and he asked, What, why? He realized his mistake as his throat was being force choked, and after he could breathe, Rasen said, Do not question my orders or I will destroy you. You may think you are powerful, but you are nothing compared to me, Sasuke said. Forgive me, master. In gasping breath, Rasen said, I will this time. Now, as I was saying, I want you to start dating Ino, but tell her that she can't tell anyone. We both know she will, but all I want you to do is spend time with her. Do not kiss her, do not have sex with her, do not do more than hold hands, if even that. If she tries to get you to do more, threaten to break up with her. You are merely going to use her to help you get rid of both her and Sakura. If anyone asks you if it is true, just ignore them. Do not respond. Everyone will think Ino is lying except Ino, who will think she is actually with you. Do this until I tell you otherwise. I will return in a few days when the time is right and have you prepare the next part of my plan. Soon both girls will be out of your life so you can get stronger faster, and they won't be around you anymore. Doesn't that sound nice? Sasuke said. Yes, master, very nice, Rasen said. Good, now go track down Ino and keep it as discreet as you can or you will fail me and die. As he walked away, Sasuke went and took a quick shower before leaving to find Ino. He went to her family flower shop and saw her sitting behind the counter, and he thought, Come on, Sasuke, you can do this. Once this is over, she will be out of your head so you can get stronger to kill Itachi and him. And he walked inside. Ino looked up from the magazine she was reading and she went wide-eyed and said, Sasuke-kun, what are you doing here? Sasuke looked around and asked. Is there anyone else here? Ino said. No, my father's on a mission, and my mother passed on a few years back. Why? Sasuke steeled himself and he said, Listen, Ino, there's something I want to ask you. Ino's eyes got wide and thought, No, this can't be happening. As hope filled her heart, and Ino asked, What is it, Sasuke-kun? Sasuke said, Look, Ino, I've been thinking for a while and I want to know if you want to go out. Ino was shocked, and she screamed, Yes, take that forehead. And Sasuke's sweat dropped and said, Forget it. As he started to leave, Ino said, No, wait. As she jumped over the counter and blocked the door, Sasuke looked at her and she said, I'm sorry, I would love to go out with you, Sasuke said. Fine, but here are a few ground rules. 1. You can't tell anyone. If they ask, I won't deny it or agree with it. 2. No kissing, sex, hugging, or anything like that. We can hold hand if no one is looking and if I feel like it. 3. You don't scream like that again. Deal, Ino said. Deal, would you like to go get something to eat? Sasuke said. No. As he walked past her, Ino was put down and Sasuke said, At least not today, as he thought. I have to make it seem real for now. Ino, who was sad a moment ago, was now happy and watched as Sasuke left, and Ino said, Mrs. Ino Uchiha. I like the sound of that. I got to tell forehead. And she stopped as she remembered Sasuke rules and she thought, wait. If I wait then I can rub it in her face more later. As she smiled and went behind the counter, Sasuke shuddered as he made his way home and thought, perhaps Itachi killing me would be better. Naruto walked back home that night and saw Hinata meditating and he asked, so what have you found out about her? Hinata? Hinata said, Sakura lives in a small house on the east side of town. Her mother works at the library as the head librarian and she spent a little time there reading books before heading home. I asked her mother as I checked out a book about her husband during casual talk and I learned he was a merchant that disappeared around the time Sakura was born and presumed dead. Besides her rivalry with Ino, I didn't see anything that could be described as a friend or someone she hangs out with. In fact, it's quite pathetic really, Naruto asked. Okay, I want you to try talking with Sakura and see if you can befriend her on some scale. Hinata blinked and asked, how the hell would me befriending her work to help us? Naruto smiled and thought, you have learned much my lady, but you have trouble of seeing what can happen 6 or 7 moves down the road. And said, trust me, you will see when it's done. Just sit back and enjoy the show for now and do as I ask my lady. Hinata sighs and nods and Naruto said, good, now let's spar. Hinata took her own stance as Naruto settled into his and they began to spar. The next day when Sakura got to school she saw Ino walking with Sasuke and she said, get away from my Sasuke-kun, Ino pig. Sasuke said, come on. As he walked past Sakura with Ino right behind him, Sakura blinked and thought, what the hell? As she followed inside and took the seat next to Ino and Sasuke, Hinata raised an eyebrow and said, what's up with that? Naruto said, you will see my dear, just remember your task. Hinata nods and when lunch came around Hinata walked towards Sakura who was looking for Ino and Sasuke and said, hey Sakura, can I talk to you a minute? Sakura looked at Hinata and asked, what do you want with me? I mean, don't you usually stay with Naruto? Hinata said. Yeah, but you see, I know how book smart you are and I was wondering if you could help me with something. Sakura looked around not seeing Ino or Sasuke and sighed and said, sure, what do you need? Hinata pulled out a scroll and after unsealing a book she said, well, I was studying medical biology to help with my plans for the future, and I was wondering if you have ever read anything about muscle restriction. Sakura blinked and said, well, actually, it's funny you should ask. I just recently got a book from the library about it, Hinata said. Really? What a coincidence. You wouldn't mind helping me with this, would you? I have to impress my part-time teacher this weekend and, Sakura interrupted her and said, part-time teacher? What are you talking about? Hinata said. Oh, Naruto-kun went and paid for a mission where on Saturdays I have a couple of ninja come and give me advice so I can show I want to be a true female ninja and not just some fangirl. Sakura blinked and said, really? Why did he do that? Hinata said. Because he wanted to make sure I could fight and be strong so we could go old together. He showed me that no matter who you are or what you believe, there will be a time when your knight in shining armor won't be there to save you or he is being held up fighting the enemy. You either have to fight to protect yourself or hold on long enough for him to get there. So anyways, as I was saying, can you help me with this? Sakura thought about what Hinata said thought. Could she be right? Could there be a time Sasuke-kun won't be able to save me? No, she's wrong. I know it. And said, sure Hinata, I got a little while to help, Hinata said. Thanks Sakura. As she followed Sakura toward the academy library and thought, this had better work. I can't stand this bitch. The evening when Sasuke was walking into his home after walking Ino home and he heard, very good my apprentice. And Sasuke quickly pulled out the little cube from his weapon pouch. Sasuke asked, how much more of this do I have to do, master? I hate having Ino all over me, Rasen said. Listen and listen closely Sasuke. I want you to continue as you have today for the rest of this week, but I want you to go to Danzo and get the Kagebunshin no Jutsu. Practice it every chance you get this week. If Thursday you do not have it, I want you to skip school Thursday because I want you to be able to use it by Friday, Sasuke said. What then, my master? Rasen said. Then I want you to. The rest of the week Sasuke spent time with Ino and learned the Kagebunshin no Jutsu. On Friday at lunch when all the students were leaving the building he was walking out with Ino and said, oh Ino, go ahead and order for me. I forgot something in the classroom, Ino said. Okay Sasuke-kun. As she went to the barbecue restaurant they'd been eating at, Sasuke waited until she was out of sight and began searching around the academy. He found Sakura heading toward the library and he said, "Hey Sakura, can I talk to you a minute?" Sakura turned and said, "Sure, Sasuke-kun." "What do you need?" Sasuke said. "Well, I want to talk to you about something after school today where no one can overhear it, so if you would meet me in the empty classroom on the 3rd floor after everyone leaves." "Okay," Sakura said. "Sure, Sasuke-kun," Sasuke said. "Thanks, Sakura, and oh, before I forget, don't tell anyone about this because I want to make sure no one interrupts us." As he blew a kiss at her and left, Sakura was blushing and she waited until he was gone and screamed, "Yada!" as she ran down the hall. A few hours later, as the academy was being let out, Sakura went to the 3rd floor to the empty classroom and sat down and waited. A few minutes later, Sasuke walked in and said, "Ah, Sakura, glad you could make it. You see, I wanted to ask you something but I am kind of scared," Sakura said. "Whatever it is, Sasuke-kun, I won't judge you or anything," Sasuke said. "Well, let me put this over your mouth. I am afraid if you say anything I might lose my confidence to say it, so please let me put this on," Sakura said. "Sure, I understand," and thought, "He's so shy," as she turned around to let Sasuke put the gag over her mouth. Once Sasuke put the gag over her mouth, 2 other Sasuke grabbed her arms, shocking her, and he walked over and locked the door and said, "Now you little bitch. I am tired of your stalking me and ruining my life, so I am going to teach you a lesson." As he pulled out a kunai, Sakura's eyes got wide and she tried to get free but couldn't, and he walked forward and punched her in the gut with his fist, knocking the air out of her, and he then took the kunai and began cutting her cloths off. Sakura was thinking, "This can't be happening. It's got to be a nightmare. Please someone save me. Why, Sasuke-kun, why?" As she tried to get free but couldn't. After he got her completely stripped, he grabbed her by her hair and dragged her to a chair and tied her arms and legs to the chair with some ninja wire, and then when she was tied up he said, "Now little bitch, if you live and tell anyone about this, I will kill you. I will kill your mother. I will kill Ino, but that's if you live. I doubt you will though, so just die." As he slit both her wrists, he then walked over to the door, walked out with the other 2 imps, and they locked the door, pulling it closed behind them. After that they went up in smoke. The real Sasuke, who was with Ino, smirked and thought, "Soon I won't have to worry about any of these weaklings," and said, "Hey Ino, there's something I need to tell you. When I went back into the academy today at lunch, Sakura came to me and she asked me out. I told her about us and she went ballistic on me and said she would break us up so she could have me. I am worried about what she might do," Ino said. "Don't worry, Sasuke-kun. I won't fall for her tricks," Sasuke said. "That's why I chose you." Outside the academy, Naruto was walking with Hinata and Iruka and he said, "Thanks again, Iruka, for coming to let us back in. I can't believe I forgot that mission scroll for the Hokage in the class I was requesting. If I can't get that mission done, I am going to be set back nearly 6 months." Iruka sighed and said, "You're just lucky I was eating some ramen when you passed by." As he unlocked the door, Naruto walked in with Hinata behind him and Iruka leading the way, and Naruto sniffed the air and said, "What's that smell, Iruka?" Iruka looked at him and asked, "What smell?" Naruto sniffed and said, "I smell blood, and lots of it." Iruka sniffed and said, "I don't smell anything." Naruto looked at Hinata and said, "Would you check the academy with your bloodline, Hinata?" "I swear I smell blood," Hinata said. "Sure." As she activated her eyes and gasped and said, "Sakura." As she took off running up the stairs and then up the next set with Naruto and Iruka after her, she got to the door to the abandoned classroom and she said, "Sakura in there and she needs help." Iruka looked through the window to the room and saw Sakura, and Naruto said, "Stand back." As he moved Iruka out of the way and he used the force to blow the door off the hangars, they all ran inside and Iruka said, "We got to get her to the hospital fast." Naruto quickly cut the wire holding Sakura to the chair and laid her on the floor out of the blood, and he said, "Hinata, take right, I got left." As they both began going through hand seals and their hands glowed green as they began to heal the wounds, Iruka was shocked and Naruto said, "Iruka-sensei, Hinata carries blood pills in her weapon pouch. Get them and give them to Sakura." Iruka did so as Naruto said, and he saw that Sakura color was starting to return, and Naruto said, "Done here. How about you, Hinata?" Hinata said, "Give me a few more seconds and I will be done." As she finished healing Sakura, Iruka said, "We need to get her to the hospital." Naruto took off his cloak and put it over Sakura and said, "We will take her. You get the Hokage to find out who did this." As he picked her up and him and Hinata took off toward the hospital. On their way to the hospital, Naruto said, You know what to do, Hinata said. Right, master. As she took off as Naruto continued to the hospital by roof. When Naruto got to the hospital, he screamed, I need a doctor here now. A nurse ran up and asked. What's wrong? Naruto said. My classmate Sakura. Iruka-sensei, Hinata and I found her tied to a chair with her wrist slit when we were at the academy. Hinata and I used a minor healing jutsu to fix the cuts and gave her a blood pill, but she needs immediate help. The nurse looked at Sakura, who was still pale, and she quickly got a medical bed and took her to get checked by a doctor who ran up when he heard the scream for help. Hinata arrived a few moments later and said, You're too fast, Naruto. As a few people looked at them, Naruto sighed and said, Damn it! Who did that to her? The third and Iruka arrived at that moment, and the third said, Where's Sakura? Naruto said. She's in with the doctor, the third asked. Did she say anything? Naruto said. No, she has not woke up, the third nodded and said. Why don't you both go on home? I will put a guard on her for today to ensure whoever did this does not get a chance to harm her again. Hinata nods and said, We will Hokage-sama. As she turned and Naruto said, Can you inform us if anything happens to her, Hokage-sama? The third said. Sure. Naruto nods and they left. Hinata frowned as they made it back to the temple and said, Did he do anything else to her besides cut her arms? Naruto said. No, I checked while Iruka was getting the blood pills. The bastard can't even follow orders correctly. I told him to tie her up and cut her wrist where she would slowly bleed out. I had also told him to destroy her shirt and pants to make her think what he could do to her. Not actually strip her completely. Hinata sighed and said, Well, at least it's not totally lost. We can still proceed as planned. Naruto nods and said, Yeah, I will go deal with the little twit and proceed as planned. Hinata nods and said, I will go to the hospital to keep an eye on her. Naruto nods and said, Run by Ino's and have her go with you. Hinata leaves and goes toward the Yamanaka flower shop. When she got there, she saw Sasuke and Ino talking and she walked in and said, Hey Ino. Sasuke and Ino looked at her and Ino said, Hello Hinata, come to get some more flowers for your garden. Hinata said, No, not today. I got some bad news for you, Ino said. What is it, Hinata? Hinata said. Today after school, Naruto had left something at the academy and me and him tracked down Iruka to let us back in the building, and when we did, Naruto-kun smelled blood. We found Sakura in that extra classroom on the 3rd floor. She had been tied to a chair and her cloths cut off of her, and her wrist had been slit while she was gagged. Ino gasped and asked, Is she alright? Hinata said. Naruto-kun and I used a medical jutsu we know and healed her wrist and gave her a blood pill before taking her to the hospital. I was just on my way back there to check on her, and I thought since you were once friends you could come with me to check on her, Sasuke asked. Do they know who did it to her? Hinata said. No, Ino said. Let me close up shop and I will come with you. You want to come, Sasuke-kun? Sasuke said. No, I have some things I need to take care of. See you later, Ino. As he quickly left, Hinata saw him leave and thought, Afraid little man. As her and Ino left to go to the hospital, when Sasuke got to his home, Rasen was there, and he said, Well done, my apprentice. All has come to pass as I planned, however I told you to destroy her shirt and pants, not all her cloths, Sasuke said. You told me to make it believable, so I did, Rasen said. I will let it slip for now since I have some great news for you. I have discovered who one of the spies that report your status to your brother. I want you to eliminate this spy so we can increase your training after we deal with Ino, Sasuke said. What if Sakura tells? Rasen said. You have an alibi, Sasuke. Ino was with you after all, and if you followed my orders with her, then she will think Sakura did it all to herself or had someone do it, making any friendship they still had completely gone. It would then be yours and Ino word versus Sakura with no witnesses against you, so even if she tells everyone, nobody will believe her. Now on to the spy. I assume you have that root mask and cloak still, Sasuke said. Yes, my master, Rasen said. Good, I want you to take the mask and cloak with you and sneak into this address and set a bomb in the bathroom in that address so when the spy goes in there you will kill the spy. I want you to also put the cloak and mask in there as well so it will look like the root member was the one responsible for the spy's death. Just make sure it is overkill. If you have to put enough explosives to completely destroy the house, do so. Now you have until 6 p.m. today to do so. If you don't do it by then, the spy may leave the village. Do not be caught. Goodbye. As he began walking away, Sasuke quickly got what he would need and went to the address that he was told and set up the bomb in the bathroom. After placing the cloak and mask, he left. Ino and Hinata were both sitting in the waiting room at the hospital when a doctor came by and asked, "Are you the two who were asking about Sakura Haruno?" Hinata said. "Yes, I was one of the ones who found and brought her here." The doctor nods and said, "You must be Hinata. Aruka told me about you and Naruto using medical jutsu to heal her. It's lucky you did, because another 5 minutes and she would have died. She will be out at least until tomorrow though, so you can go on home for the evening." Hinata looked down and said, "Thank you, doctor." As she got up with Ino and both left. As they were walking toward Ino's shop when an explosion was heard and a fireball seen on the east side of town. Both girls looked at each other and took off running toward the explosion. When they got closer, Ino gasped and said, "That's Sakura house next to the one that was blown up." Just then a second explosion went off and Ino screamed, "And oh!" as Sakura house went up in a fireball. Hinata held on to Ino as several ninja all began arriving using jutsu to put out the fires. The third Hokage arrived with several ANBU and he began to seal the area off, and he saw Ino being held back by Hinata and he jumped up toward them and asked, "What are you two doing here?" Hinata said, "We went by to check on Sakura and the doctor told us she would be okay, and we were on our way back to Ino house when we saw the first explosion. When we got here a few seconds later, that house exploded and Ino said it was Sakura house." Ino said, "Sir, Sakura mom should be home right now. She gets home at 5:45 every day from working at the library." The third frowned and he saw some ninja bringing out a body from Sakura house, and he, a man with a leather jacket and a bandana on his head, said, "Sir, the first house that exploded belonged to a man who disappeared a little over a year ago and was a member of Root. We found an ANBU cloak and a Root mask in the bathroom in the tub which somehow survived the blast. That one was a bomb, sir. I think the guy returned and blew himself up as a form of suicide. It appears the second house exploded from a gas leak, sir." The third sighed and said, "Was anyone found Ibiki?" Ibiki said, "I am afraid that a female body was found in the second house but not in the first." The third sighed and said, "Then that is most likely Sakura Haruno mother. Ino here just informed me that she was always at home by 5:45 and it's a little after 6 now." Ino asked, "What is going to happen to Sakura now, sir? I mean, her mom's dead and her house is destroyed. She's got no other family." The third said, "I don't know," Ino said. "She can stay with me, sir." The third asked, "Are you sure, Ino?" Ino said, "Yeah. We may not always get along, but we are friends." The third said, "If it is okay with your father, then I agree," Ino said. "Thank you, Hokage-sama," Hinata said. "I want to come with you tomorrow when she finds out about her mom, Ino," Ino said. "Okay, meet me around 10 a.m. and we will head to the hospital to see her," the third said. "I will come with you so I can find out who attacked her and be the one to inform her," Hinata said. "Thank you, Hokage-sama," the third said. "Why don't you both go home? It's going to be a very long day tomorrow," Hinata said. "We will, sir," as she began leading Ino away. When Hinata got home that night, she sighed as she found Naruto passed out on the floor in the main hall and thought, "Naruto-kun, you're always trying to make yourself stronger. Do you still punish yourself because your mother hasn't awakened yet? I will stay by your side, my love, and help you complete all your goals." The next day, Hinata and Ino arrived at the hospital and found the Hokage there, and the third frowned as he was coming out of the hospital room and he saw Ino and Hinata said, "Hello, Hokage-sama. How's Sakura?" The third said. "She's distracted by the fact her mother's dead." "And what happened?" Ino asked. "Did you find out who attacked her?" The third said. "Yes. Sakura said it was Sasuke Uchiha," Ino said quickly. "That's not possible, sir. Sasuke was with me all afternoon after school until Hinata came by and told us about her attack." The third looked at Hinata, who said, "He was there when I went by and got Ino, sir. That's all I know." The third frowned and said, "Are you sure he didn't leave your side the entire afternoon, Ino, before that?" Ino said. "Yes, sir, but," the third said. "But what?" Ino said. "Sasuke, he told me about something that happened at lunch yesterday. He went back inside to get something he forgot at lunch, and he told me to go on ahead to where we've been going for lunch ever since we started to date. He told me Sakura had asked him out and he told her about us and she lost it. She said she would do something to break us up." The third frowned and said, "So you think that what happened to Sakura could be self-induced?" Hinata said. "That's not possible, sir. She was tied up tightly with ninja wire on her arms and legs. She couldn't have done that herself." The third looked in thought and Ino said, "Sakura could be lying about who really did it or something, because I know it couldn't have been Sasuke," Hinata said. Why would she lie, Ino said. Because she jealous, Hinata said. So what, you think she had someone do that to her or something, Ino said. I don't know. Maybe. Hinata slapped her across the face and said, Get the fuck out of here, you bitch. I thought you actually cared for Sakura as a friend, but you care so much for Sasuke that you think he can't do no wrong. How do we know you're not lying to protect him? Ino screamed. I am not lying. Why would I lie when I am telling the truth? You know what, fuck you and fuck Sakura. I don't have to stay here and take this crap. I am leaving. As Ino was walking away, the third said. You should restrain your anger, Hinata, Hinata said. Why? I know what I saw yesterday and no one would let themselves be done that willingly. Ino cares more about a stuck-up prick like Sasuke than her friend that needs her now more than ever. If you don't mind, sir, I would like to still see Sakura, the third nods and said. Very well, I need to find a place for her to stay now since I doubt Ino will allow her to stay with her, Hinata said. She can stay with me and Naruto. We talked about it last night, and he said if Ino hadn't let her stay with her she could have stayed with us since me and her have become friends a little, the third said. Thank you, Hinata, and thank you for being here for her in her time of need, Hinata said. No problem, sir. Now let me go see her. As she walked by him as he left and into the room, she saw Sakura with her knees to her chest crying, and she walked over and said, Sakura. In a kind voice, Sakura looked up and said, Damn that bitch. I am not lying, it was Sasuke who attacked me, Hinata said. I believe you, Sakura. Sakura looked at Hinata shocked and said in a weak voice. You do, Hinata said. Yeah, I do. How much of that did you hear? Sakura said. I heard it all. Are you sure Naruto will let me stay? I mean, I haven't been friendly to him, Hinata said. But you haven't insulted him either. I believe you, and so will Naruto. When will you be able to get out of here? Sakura said. Tomorrow, Hinata said. Good. What size are your cloths? Sakura asked. Why? Hinata said. You don't have any cloths. Your home's been destroyed, so you need something to walk out of here, and unless you want to wear a hospital gown. Sakura looked down and said meekly. No, Hinata said. Good, then tell me all your sizes and I will go get you some cloths and bring them tomorrow, Sakura asked. Why are you doing this? I mean, why are you helping me? Hinata said. My master has shown an interest in you, Sakura blinked and said. Your master, Hinata said. Yes, my master. He is very powerful and very wise, Sakura asked. Are you talking about Naruto? Hinata said. Nope. You will see when you come with me tomorrow. Now what are your sizes? Sakura told her the size of her cloths, and Hinata said, Very well. I will be here before 10 a.m. tomorrow to pick you up. Don't tell anyone what I have said. I promise if you keep an open mind, my master can give you the world. As she got up and left, Sakura thought, Who is her master, and why does he have an interest in me? The next day after Sakura got out of the hospital, she had been given a simple dress and a pair of panties and a bra to wear, and she followed sadly after Hinata. When they got to the temple, Hinata stepped outside of the temple and said, Sakura, I want you to look at these two statues. The woman is named Kushina Uzumaki. She was Naruto's mother. She was also a leader of a grand army that saved the lives of more people than can be counted. The other statue is Darth Revan, Dark Lord of the Sith. She was the ruler of an army that decimated all who stood in her way. My master asked me to have anyone who stays here to remember that these women were his master before he began to rise to power. Now please follow me and meet my master. Hinata then led Sakura inside where a throne was sitting in the middle of the grand hall, and Hinata bowed down to one knee and said, I have brought her here as you requested, my master. Sakura was looking around and Hinata said, Get down now, Sakura, and show some respect. Sakura quickly bowed on one knee, scared of the ki Hinata was blasting her with, and she looked down on the floor, scared to look at the person who was sitting in a cloak with a mask on his face on the throne. The person said, You are Sakura Haruno, correct? Sakura said. Yes, the person said. Arise, Lady Hinata, and take your place. And Hinata stood up and walked to the foot of the stairs and faced Sakura, and the person said, Now as for you, Sakura, I am Darth Rasen, first master of the force. Sakura asked. What is it you want from me? Rasen said. What do you have to live for, Sakura? Sakura blinked and looked up and asked. What? Rasen said. Your mother's dead, your home has been destroyed. You have no job, no food, no money. From what I saw, you have no friends. You were nearly killed by the boy you claimed you love after he stripped you of all your cloths. Nobody believes you because it's your word against theirs. You are weak, lonely, pathetic, so tell me, what do you have to live for? Sakura opened her mouth and closed it several times, wanting to deny what he was saying, and thought, he's right, what do I have to live for? The only reason I even have cloths is because Hinata gave them to me. The Hokage doesn't believe me, my only friend I had thinks I am a liar. I have nothing, so why should I live? Hinata and Rasen saw the will to live leaving Sakura's eyes the more she thought of it, and Rasen said, if you have no reason to live, then I give you a choice, Sakura. Sakura looked at him, and he threw a kunai that hit the ground in front of her, and he said, I give you the choice to either kill yourself right now or, Sakura asked in a timid voice. Or, Rasen said, you can live to serve me and my empire faithfully for the rest of your life, and in exchange I will give you a home to live in, food to eat, cloths to wear. I will give you a purpose to live, a job to do, and someday if you prove yourself a faithful, obedient servant, I will give you a family by allowing you to sire some of my heirs. All you have to do is swear your heart to love me and my empire, your body to do with as I please, your mind to follow my orders, and your soul so no matter who comes into your life you will know your place is with me to serve me as your master. Do as I ask and never betray me, and I will give you all I have offered. Betray me and I will take everything from you, including your life. This is the choice I offer you. To live a life that has a purpose to exist, or the choice to end your own life. Now choose. Hinata saw and heard all this and thought, I see your plan now, master. You took everything from her and left her with nothing and then gave her a purpose. It's the same thing you did for me, but I was different. You gave me your heart, which I will keep with me, while pathetic women like Sakura here will be nothing but a servant. You have never called me a servant, but you have shown Sakura that's all she will ever be to you. I was your apprentice until I became your right hand. Sakura looked at the kunai and thought, do I become his servant and gain all he has offered, or do I end it now? My mother never gave up after father died, and she lived on for me. I will live on for her. And said, I accept, my master. As she lowered her head, Rasen said, good, Sakura. Now it is time to begin your training. Thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you want the next part of this video, like, subscribe and comment down below and turn on the bell notification. And also check out other videos that I have created and enjoy. See you in the next video. Peace.